Hello shipmates, before we get into the NXT WAR GAMES review with Anthony Talk Stuff and myself, ANTwontstop has dropped his latest wrestling themed track, Survivor Series 2019, and he has offered it to the DOWPOD for your listening pleasure. So before we get into the WAR GAMES review, let's hype up some Survivor Series with some cracking wrestling themed music. Here it is.
Survivor Series, it's going down, control the crowd. NXT, we been underrated, we over now. Viking Raiders, a new day, they might lose it. My prediction, the outcome is undisputed. If we be cheating, then how come they don't dispute it? We doing good without them, no need to prove it. Hit my music, I'm Bray Wyatt when the tune hits. The whole mood switch, no time for cool flips. Save that for Ricochet, same plan, different day. Hit the 450, win the match a different way. Powerbomb me through the stage in a vicious way. We got the best team, what would Demolition say? Feeling unstoppable, what would Tommaso Ciampa do? Probably beat you up and put you in the hospital. Spitting green mist in your face, just like Oscar do. I'm diabolical, baby, beating me is impossible. Nobody's messing with my squad, my team. Survivor Series 19, know what I mean. Ready to sweep, sorta like a routine. It's like clockwork on your TV screen. Nobody's messing with my squad, my team. Survivor Series 19, know what I mean. Ready to sweep, sorta like a routine. It's like clockwork on your TV screen. It used to be 4-on-4, but now it's 5-on-5. Elimination, everybody won't survive, what's the prize? It's bragging rights for the best brand. I've been around for a while, I ain't no freshman. SmackDown versus Raw versus NXT. Now it's my chance to find out who's a friend to me. All these enemies accidentally sending me straight to a higher entity. I'm not wasting my energy. Y'all ain't offending me, surviving is my destiny. I'm like Nakamura, Kinshasa the referee. The king of strong style, the king of all styles. Versatile, when I hit the ring it's worth your while. Soul Survivor, we major, you're minor. The move designer, lock you in the Steiner recliner. I'm lighting the fire, like McIntyre Claymore. When they try to attack me, it always backfires. Nobody's messing with my squad, my team. Survivor Series 19, know what I mean. Ready to sweep, sorta like a routine. It's like clockwork on your TV screen. Nobody's messing with my squad, my team. Survivor Series 19, know what I mean. Ready to sweep, sorta like a routine. It's like clockwork on your TV screen.
Another fantastic track there by ANTwontstop, friend of the show. Hope you enjoyed that. It is available on Apple Music and Spotify as we speak. So go and support Ant, go get the stuff, go listen to it. It's fantastic. But right now, it's time for NXT WAR GAMES review with Anthony Talk Stuff and Captain Dits. Let's do this.
DOW. Dits on Wrestling.
Ahoy shipmates, welcome to the Dits on Wrestling podcast, the Royal Navy's only pro wrestling pod. Probably. Now, something pretty big happened this weekend. In fact, two pretty big things are happening this weekend. One being NXT WAR GAMES, which is exactly what you are here for right now, and Survivor Series as well. I'm not covering Survivor Series on this show because this is all dedicated to War Games, but it all fits into the same WWE weekend, and by God, it is exciting. This is the most excited I've been for a WWE weekend in a very, very long time, and it takes a lot for me to get excited. It takes a lot to get that little lob on in my pants for wrestling, but I have that for this weekend. I'm excited, I'm looking forward to it, and I've just finished watching the first of those two shows, and my God, despite the fact I fell asleep a little bit in the middle of it, it was amazing. It was awesome. Now, this week, same as last week, this week I haven't been able to watch that much wrestling. So AEW, I'm about 2 weeks behind now. Raw and SmackDown, I had to skim through, to kind of catch up for the Survivor Series weekend. I wasn't able to watch the full show. So this week, there are no highlights, there are no Laugh of the Weeks, there are no Walk the Planks. This is purely a review show of NXT WAR GAMES, which isn't a bad thing. I like to mix things up on the pod every now and then. So, I mean, you might prefer the fact that there's not highlights on the show, and, this is a little bit of a change of pace, like a refreshing change of pace. So, let me know your thoughts. Like, that's what I like feedback, to make a better podcast. You need directed feedback from you guys. So, let me know what you think. But I'm not doing this alone, and a couple of weeks ago, I announced that the show is going to have a consistent collaborator, and a first mate has been hired. He is the Smee to my Captain Hook. It is Anthony from Anthony Talk Stuff. Hello, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I fucking hate being Smee, but I'm happy to be here.
What's wrong with Smee?
I just don't think he's... Of all sidekicks or number twos in, media history, I feel like he ranks pretty low.
Ooh, Smee. Ooh.
Exactly. Even his name is shitty. And when you hear, and it's exactly like that, he's just... And even, in the movie, he gets treated like such a bitch. But, everybody serves their purpose, and, I'm here to serve mine.
I mean, we talked about it a little bit before we started recording, but... we a missed opportunity with Pickle Dits and Morty. That's a missed opportunity, but I will find a way to morph that into this in some way, shape, or form. But
I trust that you will, and I trust that
I will, and it will be great. It'll be fantastic.
I'll hate it.
But yeah, we were. I threw out a message to you a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago now. Asking if you wanted to be a frequent collaborator on the show, because I feel everything that we've done so far has been, really fun. It's always been a blast. We start off with the draft, and then you joined me for my first foray into AEW, and that was great as well. Pretty much bashed Brandy for the majority of it.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it was good. It was fun. I thought, it's sometimes nice to share the wealth with this podcast, and I thought, who better than you? So I sent you a message, asked you to be my first mate, and here you are. This is the first of, hopefully, many collaborations on this show.
Yeah, for sure. I'm fucking pumped. Yeah, everything that we've done has been a good time and a fun episode, and I've been part of, the first draft episode, and then the first AEW-focused part of an episode, and now the first, regular collaborator, and I am the fucking Smee to your Captain Hook, so here we fucking go.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry at the same time.
Yeah, I know you're not.
I when I posted that and you commented on it, I could actually see your heart sinking through the tweet. I was like...
I read it, I immediately was like, fucking Smee! And now I'm even more mad because I totally, again, like we were discussing, I totally didn't get the fucking nautical theme, even though I should have, because it's only fucking everywhere. So I'm kind of over 2 there, but, can't get any lower than this, so there's nowhere to go but up.
And up we shall go, because we have both just watched an incredible fucking pay-per-view in the shape of NXT WAR GAMES 2019.
Holy shit, what a pay-per-view.
I mean, like I said in the build-up, I was excited for this weekend, as it was, and I was so excited, in fact, that I thought at some point I'm going to be let down, I'm going to be disappointed, because it always happens. I get really excited, and then something, I'm just, why?
Yeah, your mind gets racing. You're like, oh, this is going to be great, or what if they did this, or what if this happens, and then it never delivers. But usually, that's on the WWE side of things. NXT normally delivers.
Yes. And
they fucking delivered, to no one's surprise, delivered again. Oh, man, yeah, what a War Games. Holy shit.
Yeah, I think this was actually my favorite War Games so far, and I think a big part of that was the fact that we had 2 War Games matches in the same night, which is a perfect segue into the first match of the evening, the women's War Games match. And, well, there was a lot to digest in this match. Like, the match itself was incredible. Like, there was so many, little stories being told, throughout the whole match. It was amazing. There was some really cool spots. It was... when it got to 4-on-2, it was kind of like, the writing's on the wall here. We know exactly who's going to win. And then they pulled it out of the bag with something that wasn't predictable, which I like that. If WWE is unpredictable, it shocks me. And when it came to 4-on-2, I was like, well, Baszler's obviously going to take this. But yeah, it didn't happen. Rhea Ripley hits the Riptide on the chairs, and boom. Victory for Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae, the 2 members on the team, as the other 2 had been vanquished prior. But there's so many. I missed the pre-show with Mia Yim apparently being taken out like that. When Dakota Kai came out, I was like, "What? Hang on, what's going on here?" But I assumed that she was the one that attacked Mia. Like, that's automatically where my head went.
I didn't know that she got taken out. I knew in real life, I think she broke her nose or something in the ladder match with Io Shirai last week. I know she got hurt for real. And then, I expected her to see her in this, didn't see her in this. And everything that they kept mentioning with Dakota Kai, even just the way, she had her hair done up all fancy, and they kept talking about how her and Tegan Nox were best friends. And I immediately was like, she's either going to pull a Sting from right before he left and became Crow Sting, where he went and proved to Luger and them in the War Games match that he wasn't a traitor, and then left him high and dry and fucked him over. Or I thought she was going to turn like she did. And boy, did she fucking turn right out of the gate. They didn't even let her get into the cage and do something later. She came out and then just turned right around and just fucked up Tegan Nox and then left, and that was it.
I mean, I was watching it and I was like, I think my mouth was open for the majority of it. I was catching flies watching this thing. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? I sensed a heel turn was coming. Yeah. But not the same night as the supposed takeout of Mia Yim. And when it happened, oh my God, everyone was going nuts for that thing. It looked vicious.
Yeah, she hit her right on the injured knee. She took the knee brace off, slammed it in the cage. The refs couldn't pull her off. And every from that moment there, everything... that, you alluded to it a little bit already. Everything in the women's War Games match was so spot on. You get the Candice LeRae gets an awesome spot. Dakota Kai gets her moment where she turns and gets a big, spectacle, turn heel moment. Tegan Nox gets thrown into a feud. Io Shirai does the fucking moonsault off the top of the cage because she's the best women's wrestler in the world right now and gets to do something awesome. Agreed. Baszler still gets to look strong, but we get to launch Rhea Ripley into the stratosphere, and she gets put on a star level in this match and an awesome finish. There was, this match was just done so well. You had a good finish, a good story being told, and almost every person in the match got a got a spotlight shown on them in some way, and they executed great. Like, this match just hit on everything. I was really impressed. And that was such a cool finish. She broke out of the choke and handcuffed her, and then I was like, where the fuck is this gonna go? And then, yeah, Riptide done. Oh, good. Yeah, good fucking finish. Good match. What a fucking opening.
I know. Like, if you go, this is what takeovers have excelled at. Like, from the beginning, like any opening match sets the tone, and it's always awesome. Like, usually they throw the tag team match in there. Usually the Undisputed Era against whoever, and that kicks things off. But War Games this time round. And that was the good thing about having 2 War Games. You could kick the show off with one.
Yeah, you get to bookend it. Yeah. And I was wondering that. I was like, are they going to do it like... I was thinking of like WrestleManias and stuff when every time there's like... Now that we have like the Universal Champion and the WWE Champion, every like Mania that comes up, I'm always thinking like, oh, are they going to have like one of the titles lead off the match and then the other one close it? And then I was wondering the same thing with War Games. I was like, they have 2. There's only 4 matches. Is one of them going to lead off? I was like, does the women main event? And I was like, no, there's no way. And literally as I was thinking that, the sirens went off and the lights went out and the cage started coming down and then Rhea's music hit. And I was like, oh shit. Like, yeah, that's what's so awesome about takeovers. There's no like shitty matches. There's no bathroom break matches. Like, they come out of the gate at 100 miles an hour and they don't stop until the show is done. Like, I mean, think of how this like takeover and this War Games happened. Like, pay-per-view started with Rhea Ripley and her fucking beating Shayna, and it ended with Ciampa maybe committing manslaughter on Adam Cole. Like, holy shit.
And like, if you told that to somebody, they'd be like, whoa, I need to check
that
shit out. Yeah. So, but I like the finish as well, because Baszler ate the pin via obviously Rhea Ripley's Riptide onto the chairs, which sets up a future feud. It's probably going to be the next feud for the 2 of them. And I've said this about so many challenges to Baszler's title. You know, this is the one. This is going to be the one. This is the one.
I thought Io was going to be the one, especially if she got the second shot. But it's got to be. Especially, I read something that before the NXT on USA thing happened, WWE Creative had like legitimate or big plans for Baszler coming up to the main roster. So maybe they just delayed it a little bit, but it's gotta, I'm in the same boat. Every new challenger that Baszler gets, I'm like, well, this is the one. This is the one. But it's gotta be like, I mean, Rhea was the first NXT UK women's champion. I mean, they booked her. She got the win on fucking SmackDown. She fucking came out of the choke in this pay-per-view and then got the pin on the champ. Like, this, and now that I'm saying all of it, she's not going to fucking win. It's going to be Baszler. Baszler's never going to lose the belt. She will be NXT Women's Champion until she dies in like real life.
Yeah.
But it's got to be her, right? It's got to be like Rhea's going to be the one to take it off her, right?
I mean, looking at the
probably
division,
at the takeover the weekend of like Royal Rumble weekend, it's got to be her, right?
Yeah. I mean, that have Rhea Ripley beat Baszler at wherever that Royal takeover for Rumble is, and then have her go into the Rumble with the belt. It would be amazing.
That would be fucking sick. Yeah, and then you get to have Baszler go into the Rumble too, or debut on the main roster that Monday or Friday or whatever. I feel like that's got to be. But again, I've thought that, as to your point, many other time, and it has not resulted in that way.
But it's believable as well, I think, with Rhea, because she's just. I've never seen anything like Rhea Ripley in wrestling before. Like, on the women's side of things, anyway. Like, she's a completely different breed. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if you've seen this, but I was on the old Twitter machine the other day, and somebody posted a tweet, and it was Rhea Ripley, like metalhead, era. Like, it was weird. Like, she was in like your, like when NXT women first debut, like they had the generic ring gear. Like, she was wearing that and had like really long blonde hair, and I was like, what the fuck?
Who the fuck is that?
And it was a side by side. I was like, that is insane. Like, just from going to that to this, like, you just always assume that this is what they look like, but it really, go and look at it because it will take you off guard. It really will. But she is, like, she's a star. Like, Jesus Christ, like, Rhea Ripley is an absolute star. I prefer her as a heel. Don't get me wrong, but if she has to be a babyface to take the title off Shayna, and then works a heel turn around that, post title victory, I'm all for it. But I think Rhea is the future of the NXT Women's Division.
Oh yeah, and I feel like with how she's been booked in this whole, War Games Survivor Series last kind of month, I feel like the quote unquote main roster, like, creative team as well, kind of sees her as that, and it looks like she's gonna kind of get pushed a little bit, which she should. She's fucking, like you said, like, there's no one like her. Like, I think I saw an interview with her, or I read an interview that she did. I don't think she's been wrestling very long. I think it's only been like 2 or 3 years. It's not a long time. She was playing rugby before that. She was a second row. Which I thought cool, which I find cool because I played rugby, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I think it's a real short amount of time. Like, she's only been, at max, it's like 4 years, because I think she's only like 24 or 25 or something, and she hasn't been wrestling very long. So the fact that she's mastered, like, this ability this early on in her career, and especially too considering, like, I guess it's easier to nail not easier, but like the athletic side of it or the in-ring stuff, I feel like is easier to nail if you're a former professional athlete than it is to add like the charisma part or like the gimmick part. And she just really captivates like everything. She has like a good look, a good gimmick, and she has like, she just kind of captures your attention immediately through like her verbiage and like the poses and everything that she does. Like, like she's definitely a star. And you know what? Now that we're saying all this, she's gonna fucking lose. She's not gonna beat Shayna.
Yeah, it's not going to be her.
Jinxed it.
It's not gonna be her. It's gonna be like Aaliyah or something like that. It's gonna be some absolute bullshit like Aaliyah or Vanessa Bourne, and we're just gonna be like, oh, seriously, this is what
this is what fucking happened.
But no, like it's really cool to see. Like, bearing in mind she's only been on NXT, like, the main NXT, if you will, for like 7-8 weeks, and she's already like more or less the star of the fucking show, like the star of the women's division, like. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Yeah. But obviously, she picked up a huge victory with this War Games match, which was awesome. But there was another match straight after this one. It was the triple threat match to determine the number one contender to face Adam Cole at Survivor Series. Of course, if he survived that hell of a fall from the cage. It is Killian Dane versus Pete Dunne versus Damian Priest. Now, I can cover this for, maybe the first maybe the first 10, maybe. I don't know how long the match went for, but maybe the first 10 minutes I can give you some kind of input. But you're going to have to fill in the finish because I fell asleep.
Tell them why. Yeah, tell them why.
I'll tell you why I fell asleep, but I probably jinxed it, actually, because I did say to you like 2-3 days ago, I will fall asleep.
Yeah.
And I think I always fall asleep during takeovers, and it's not because it's terrible, because it really isn't. It's just it's 2:00 in the fucking morning or 1:00 in the morning, whatever it is.
It's tough for you over there across the pond.
And I have kids as well, so I'm worn out during the day, and then I try and watch wrestling in the evening, and it just destroys me. And it didn't.
You're not even watching wrestling in the evening; you're watching it in the early twilight of morning of the next day. That's rough. And
just for some insight, if you're listening to this is being recorded at 20 to 4 in the morning, my time. So, yeah. I'm full of adrenaline from War Games at the moment, so that's keeping me going.
Well, yeah, because you got to take a nap during
the nap helped.
Pete Dunne triple threat.
I feel like my body needed the nap for that main event. So it must. I think subconsciously that was going on there. I thought I'll watch a little bit of the triple threat just to get a taste of it, and then I'll just sleep until War Games.
Yeah, that's a good formula.
But,
it would have been worth it.
Yeah, but the actual what I saw of the triple threat, I was actually really enjoying it. Like I think all three guys, all their styles, I think really meshed well together. I'm a huge fan of Pete Dunne, so of course I was gunning for him to win, and of course he did end up winning, which I found out on Twitter because obviously I was asleep. But any of the guys could have won, and I think out of the three of them, if Killian Dane had won, I would have been the least happy with that one. But I still like Killian Dane. You know, if Damian Priest won, we would get a hell of a match between Priest and Cole. But out of the two, if you're going to showcase NXT to the more casual audience and just showcase what NXT is really about, having Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne is a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. When they announced that the winner of that match fought Cole, I just kind of, just from like a face heel standpoint, I was like, well, it's got to be like done. They're not going to do Cole versus Priest or Cole versus Dane. And then, yeah, for like the high profile match it's going to get, like the NXT title is going to be on, you know, a WWE pay-per-view. And even though Survivor Series has kind of waned a little bit in popularity in recent years, Survivor Series is still one of like the original Big Four, and it's still a big deal. So this is like a high profile match, and I feel like they'd want to put it in the hands of two extremely capable wrestlers with Dunne and Cole. So I kind of thought Dunne was going to get the win, and he did. But it was a good match. Like Damian Priest has come a long way. I remember seeing him on the Indies when he was Punishment Martinez, and how much Dane has progressed in his time in NXT. I was not sure how all three of their styles would mesh in this match, but it was good. There was counters, there was pace, there was spots, there was physicality, there was like a story being told in the ring. It was, unfortunately for this match and the match after this, it's going to get overshadowed by the women's War Games match and the men's War Games match. But this was a good triple threat with a good result, and Pete Dunne is fucking awesome. And I don't think enough people realize how awesome Pete Dunne is.
And like Rhea Ripley, he's fucking young as well. Like,
yeah,
I think
he is too.
Actually, I think they're both the same age. I might be wrong. I know.
Well, yeah, because
I did look. Rhea Ripley is 23, by the the way.
Oh, yikes. I even gave her a little too much. I said she was like fucking 24, 25. Pete Dunne is 26.
I mean, 26 in the game of wrestling is still very, very...
But he's been wrestling since he was 14.
Which is crazy.
I know. So he's like a fucking 12-year vet.
I feel like that's usually the way. It's either guys from Mexico or guys from Europe, specific. I mean, I'm just looking at UK guys really, but they seem to really start early, whereas guys stateside seem to start, around the 16, 17 mark, maybe just a little bit later than that. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just a coincidence. That just seems to be the trend that I see.
I think it's more ingrained. Like, I feel like with, especially on like down in Mexico, and then I would say actually, especially in like England and that too. I feel like wrestling gets more like lineage based or like heritage based. So you get a lot of like, oh yeah, like my dad and my grandfather, and they wrestled or they did this. Like we hear the stories of it stateside with like the Rhodes family or like with The Rock or with the Harts or stuff like that. But I think that's because those guys have rose to such high levels of popularity or have achieved so much, so their story gets blasted more than everyone else's. But yeah, I've noticed that too. Like there's a lot of, oh yeah, like this guy's awesome. He's been wrestling since he was 11. And you're like, what? Like what? I remember the first time I heard that about Pete Dunne, and I saw some photo of him. Yeah, I think he was like 15 or 16. He had been a pro for a year, and he was already working matches and doing spots. And I was just like, holy hell! This is when I first heard of Pete Dunne years ago when they were doing the whole British Strong Style thing. He's only 26. Like even Adam Cole is only 30. Like, man, talent. Pete Dunne's fucking awesome. People don't know. I don't know if it's because he's English or people don't watch NXT UK enough or whatever, but they're gonna put on a fucking show.
Yeah. So I think he showed up on Raw actually maybe like 2-3 years ago. I think he beat Enzo Amore or something like that. So like the casuals have had a little bit of exposure to him, but just this is going to be something else. It's not a Pete Dunne versus Enzo Amore. I can fucking assure you that. It's Pete Dunne versus Adam fucking Cole, baby.
And it's in Chicago.
Oh,
People
yes.
know who Pete Dunne is. They love Pete Dunne. They love Cole. Like, he's going to get a good pop when he comes out. It's gonna come across good on pay-per-view, and to like that casual commercial mainstream viewer is gonna like, they're gonna see everybody pop for Pete Dunne. They're gonna be like, oh shit, should I cheer for this guy? Should I know who this guy is? And then the match is gonna happen. It's gonna be fucking awesome. And
I hope it's Triple H that is the one that is calling the shots with it, because I feel if what I'm led to believe is that Vince has had his part, has played his part in the whole, and of course it is, it's his fucking show, but he hasn't held back NXT at any point during the build to Survivor Series, which is really, really good to see. So I'm hoping that this match between Pete Dunne and Adam Cole, if Vince is in charge, of this match, he lets it just go. Like you see at takeovers, they just let them go. I mean, if Triple H, has, ownership of it, we know that it's going to be great. And if it's given the time, it's going to be great. But I'm just hoping if it's in Vince's hands, I just hope he realizes what he has. At the end of the day, NXT is, it is now the main roster. I don't, whatever way you look at it, is now the main roster. So it's in Vince's best interests to really build NXT as that third brand, especially now it's on a network. Like, it'd be stupid to, kind of have this just thrown away, pushed in the corner. I don't think that'll happen, to be honest. I think we're going to get an incredible match.
I hope so.
I really
the last time I thought that was when AJ and sorry, my Alexa went off. Hold on. Shut up, Alexa. I don't know why the fuck that went off. Just go right away. The last time I thought that was when AJ and Nakamura fought at Mania, and I was like, no, Vince is going to let them go. They're going to put on a quality match like they did in Japan. It's going to be great. And that match turned to be shit.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it works out better this time. Cole's going to win, right? Is there a chance Dunne wins? But no, Cole's going to win, right?
Yeah, I think this whole, Undisputed Era having all the gold thing is going to go on for a little while. So I think it'd be a bit silly if... Well, it wouldn't be silly. Pete Dunne is more than capable of being NXT champion. I just don't think it's the right time yet.
That would be cool if it happened. Yeah, I don't think it'll happen either. Especially if they really want to make, NXT as a quote-unquote main roster brand on a network. It's good to have, Cole as the face for now and continue to ride, oh, yeah, this is our champion. He wins a lot, blah, blah, blah type shit.
Yeah. And you can tell that I fell asleep during this match because we haven't talked about the match. We're actually talking about the Survivor Series match, but the match itself, there were some cool spots in there from what I saw. In particular, there was actually two standouts for me. It was Killian Dane delivering a Samoan drop and a fall away slam at the same time to both guys. That was a pretty cool visual.
Was cool.
And I believe Damian Priest hit a razor's edge on Pete Dunne onto the table as well. That was pretty cool to see as well.
And the table didn't break. Dunne hit the table. I also Killian Dane did a one-winged angel, which is Kenny Omega's finisher. And I don't know if that's... Yeah, he did it once officially, and then he went to go for it again. That's what he hit it once on Pete Dunne, and then he went for it again in the finish of the match, and Dunne countered it into a sleeper, and then Dane kind of jumped on Priest with Priest was laying down on the ground, and Dane jumped on Priest with Dunne on his back, and then Dunne kind of pushed Dane off of him and passed out onto Priest to get the pin, and that's how the finish ended. But yeah, he pulled off a one-winged angel, and it was so good that I tweeted it because I was like, the fuck? I was like, he just did a one-winged angel. Apparently he's done it before, though, I guess. It's got a name. I haven't seen it before, but he did a one-winged angel, and I popped for that, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I like a one-winged angel as well.
It's so good.
My the draft series I did with Warren Hayes, we did finishing moves, and one-winged angel was number 5 for me, or number
So
6.
good.
Like, it had to be in my top 10. I love it. So it's pretty cool that Killian Dane's doing it. You know, it's
He's underrated as a wrestler.
he is. He really, really is. Like, I wait. You look back at it when he was. I mean, this is just WWE, of course. You know, he did a lot of stuff. You know, prior to that, you know, in ICW. You know, here in the UK, you know, he has some really good stuff there. But in WWE, like some of the stuff he did with Sanity and in multi-man matches or not even multi-man matches, just any match. Like he was amazing. Like, I always remember watching him going like, this guy is when Sanity stops being a thing. Like, this guy is going to be the one out of the whole group that is just going to be pushed, and he's going to be the star coming out of it. It didn't end up that way. Nikki Cross seems to have had the push out of all of them, but now that Killian Dane's back in NXT, I tweeted this out actually during the show. It's nice that they've given him this opportunity to kind of have like a fresh start and just press reset and just go, right, let's just ignore Sanity's main roster run. Let's just pretend that never happened. It was like it never happened.
Let's
they
all
appeared
pretend.
like 4 or 5 times.
It was awful.
It was bad, but all that's kind of been pushed to the back. You know, we have this whole Northern Ireland conflict thing going on with him, which is really cool. And he's just back to being just an absolute badass, brutal, big dude who just lays waste to absolutely everybody. It's awesome, you know. And
he was really fucking great in the War Games. What, like 2 years ago?
Yes,
I think. He fucking was the star, arguably the star of that event. It's another good showing for him at another fucking War Games. Yeah, he deserved. I mean, out of everybody in that group, he had like the most unique look, and you knew it wasn't going to be like Eric Young. And yeah, Dane is really. Yeah, thank God they've made people forget that Sanity was a thing, because God, it was bad on the main roster, man. Oh, that's a shame. That was a cool group. They had a good look. They had a good theme song. They had a cool gimmick. Fuck. Poor Sanity. But hooray for Killian Dane.
At least something good's come out. In fact, actually, a lot of good's come out of it, because Dane's back in NXT, absolutely killing it there. Nikki Cross is doing well on the main roster.
Isn't he married to Nikki Cross?
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool that they both succeeded.
Well, they're either married or they're together. I know, like they have a relationship with each other.
They do some kind of something with each other.
Alexander Wolf is part of Imperium, which is amazing. I love Imperium.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah,
duh. That's why I always focus on him instead of Walter, and I'm like, why is this guy so familiar to me? I even fucking forgot about Sanity.
Yeah, fuck Sanity.
Even though they fucked over Imperium on fucking Raw like 2 weeks ago or whatever, when they lost to that like Hodge. I don't want to talk about it. It's gonna be
So really, the only person coming out of it is Eric Young, who hasn't done anything. But he's at that point now where I think he's actually doing like a backstage role. I think.
Good. Well, I mean, he's got to be up there in age, and he's been wrestling for a while. So I feel like out of everybody, yeah, good. He can. Man, poor Sanity. Fucking. They showed Imperium on this takeover, like at ringside, and Morrow was like, "Oh, like one of the most dominant forces in wrestling," and I wanted to be like, "Then how come they lost to a fucking hodgepodge mismatch team fucking 2 weeks ago?"
Yeah.
Fuck. I'll stop. I'm sorry. I got upset.
See that. See, that's the occasion where Vince doesn't get it.
Yes. Exactly. And that's what I keep waiting. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop where, like, we're right now being like, oh, man, Dunn and Cole is going to be an awesome match. And then tomorrow, Vince is going to be like, you know what? We should have fucking Bo Dallas be in that match, and he should win the belt. And they're going to fucking ruin it. I just keep waiting.
Yeah. Oh, God, let's not have that happen.
What if we put the belt on No Way Jose? Conga lines are fun. I'm Vince McMahon. Like, fuck.
I think the problem with Imperium and Vince, like Vince is now aware of NXT, but I don't think he's aware of NXT UK. I think that's the issue. When we had Takeover Cardiff, I was lucky enough to be there, and there were chants of, are you watching Vince McMahon and all this kind of stuff. And a tweet went out on his social media. He doesn't run that Twitter account. Come on.
No, definitely not. He has no idea. I could see him being like talking to Triple H and being like, "Oh yeah, NXT and blah blah blah," and then Triple H being like, "Oh yeah, I got to go over to England and like do this," and Vince would be like, "Oh, like why do you have to go to England?" And he'd be like, "Oh, well, NXT like UK," and he'd be like, "What do you mean NXT UK?" And he'd be like, "We have NXT in UK," and Vince would be like, "We do? Also, what's NXT? Where am I?
Yeah.
Where's Roman? Does Roman have a belt? Has he main evented enough WrestleManias? Who's Imperium? Fuck him. Have him lose to who sucks? Fucking Fandango. One on three.
I want to have a bad word said about Fandango, though, by the way.
I like Fandango. He was just the first name that came to mind. He's fun.
Maybe ballroom dancer Fandango. I'll give you that. Or salsa dancing Fandango, because he was even fucking worse. Jesus Christ. Yeah, like I you know what I really want to see? I want to see like a rerun of the exploding limo with Vince. Because he would, like, it was portrayed that he was a little bit senile back then, and all that stuff, but I think he's borderline legit senile now, so the storyline would work like a lot better.
Yeah,
and
do
then
it.
he can just go off. The limo would explode. We know it's not real, but he'd go off and then run at XFL and then just kind of take a back seat.
Go do football. Go worry about football. We'll watch. You can legitimize yourself as a businessman like you've always wanted to. That people see you as like a carny owner and a circus person, and you don't want to be seen as that. So go do football and let everyone else do the wrestling thing, and that way, Imperium can do stuff. Because I know he sees Walter and it's just like, oh, this guy's fat, he sucks. I'd be like, no, like, you suck.
He's got real man titties.
Yeah, he's all like, this is that guy. He's fat. And I'd be like, no, like just have him lose the fucking No Way Jose.
Is that the police in the background coming for fucking Vince?
It might be. I mean, I live, living in New York City. Police sirens are a regular thing. Or maybe Vince set the cops for me because he heard what I said.
It could be.
It's probably that.
Hey, look, Cody listens to this podcast, as you well know, and
he does.
Vince has his little elves to do his little scouting missions for him, so he may have picked that up.
So too bad they can't scout fucking England, so he knows that there's a fucking NXT UK. Fucking guy. We've gone off the rails.
Right. So speaking of off the rails...
This all happened because you fell asleep during the show.
I know. Well, that is set to continue because this one's yours because I only watched the last minute and a half. Finn Balor versus Matt Riddle. Talk to me.
Good match. Good match. Much like the triple threat, I think this one's going to get lost in the shuffle. But a good match. Finn hit the 1960 for the finisher. We had a nice bro to sleep that was well executed from Riddle, and then he went for a move off the top, and that kind of like led to his downfall. They kind of played it up during the match like that when Riddle hit the bro to sleep, that like Balor was out, he was done, and that Riddle should have gone for the pin, but he didn't because he wanted to put like extra icing on the cake because he really wanted to like beat Finn and embarrass him after how much of a dick Finn has been, and that's what kind of did him in at the end. But good match, good physicality. It was cool to see Balor. Balor is such a better wrestler. Well, he's a good wrestler regardless, but he's so much better as a heel. Like the dickhead charisma that he has as a bad guy, that for people who are listening who watched him in New Japan, like he was Prince Devitt in this match. And the promo package leading up to this match, he referred to himself as the Prince right at the end. That was the last thing that was said before the music hit and the match took place. Like, oh, like I got goosebumps when he said it. It was on any other Takeover card, this match would have been a bigger highlight. The pacing was good. Again, the pacing was good. The physicality was good. The spots were good. It was a cool finish. Balor getting the win was good. The crowd was ridiculously into it. But again, unfortunately for this match, like it was unfortunate for Dunn and Priest and Dane, this match happened to be on the card with 2 War Games matches, and so I don't think enough people are going to pay attention to this match, but it was good. And being the only one on this podcast right now who really watched it, I enjoyed it.
It's good to see Balor back in NXT. I've pined for. To be honest, it's not necessarily a heel turn that I've pined for. It's just give Balor something substantial rather than coming out and fucking smiling. Like, you're not Apollo Crews. Like, you can do more than fucking. No, actually, that's a little bit of a knock on Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews is incredible. Like,
no, he is, but he also just fucking smiles all the time.
Yeah.
You just make him smile. Like, his gimmick is to smile. Like, that's fucking dumb.
But Balor he's a fucking demon, for Christ's sake. Like, don't have him being fucking Harry Von Smiley, every single week. Like, it's this really grinds my fucking gears. The extraordinary man that does extraordinary things, just like, get out with that shite. Balor was when I watched him in NXT, like, he quickly became my favorite wrestler on the planet. Like, without a doubt, like, he was amazing. Like, just everything about him, presentation, moveset, the demon, all good stuff. Came up to the main roster straight away out the gates. He was Universal Champion straight away. Unfortunately, picked up that injury, then came back, and just there was just no momentum there. It was as if, I don't know, you would have thought, having given the guy the title, the Universal title, the first ever Universal title winner, you would have thought as soon as he came back, he'd be straight in that picture. It didn't happen. And it never happened.
I wonder all the time, every time I see him, I always think, like, what was the long-term or even the short-term, like, plan for him when they had him win the belt? Like, if he doesn't hurt his shoulder in that title match, what does it look like going forward if he doesn't get hurt? I wonder what direction they had for him, because that's like that was a big fucking deal. That was the Raw belt. Raw was the main show. He was the first holder of that belt. Like, there had to have been some kind of at least like 4 to 6 month run with that belt for him at some point. And then maybe he would have had a good run and then kind of faded into nothingness like so many others have before him. But yeah, I wonder where he would have gone. And yeah, exactly to your point, like, he came back, and I thought the same thing too. I was like, oh shit, well, he's got to get thrust in that title picture. And he never got any momentum. He never got any traction. When they gave him the Intercontinental title, I thought, like, oh, maybe this could be a thing, and he'll get like an 8-month, run with the Intercontinental title and put that belt on the map. But
nope,
he really didn't defend it in anything ever, and just kind of faded. And now he's going to NXT, and he's a heel, and he's doing Bullet Club shit. And I want to see him join with the club and face Undisputed Era, and that's all I want in life.
And we're gonna get that. Like, we have to get that so. At some point. To be fair, Survivor Series would have been like the perfect
War
time.
Games. It's got to be
War Games as well. Oh.
That's what I thought initially when we were doing the War Games thing. I was like, oh, okay, like, it's going to be an Undisputed Era versus the club. Like, that's just been the natural. When he debuted, that's what I was thinking. I was like, he's going to come for Cole. Undisputed Era is going to, like, it writes itself. Undisputed Era beats the shit out of Balor. The club comes through 4-on-4 War Games. It is what it is. They went with a different direction, and it worked out because it was fantastic. But we have to at some point, or I don't know, WWE won't give it to it. No, we have. That's such low hanging fruit. Like, that's easy. Like, everybody wants Undisputed Era and the club. Just make it happen. Everybody in the club is a bad guy, because that was the biggest hindrance before. It was like, well, AJ and Anderson and Gallows are bad guys. Finn is a face, but now they're all dickhead heels. Put all the dickhead heels together and let them be the club, please.
Yes. Oh,
please.
It's gonna
Smee
happen.
wants.
Smee.
Fucking hate Smee. But I respect it.
Yeah, you respect it. You have to respect it being the first mate and me being the captain.
I knew. I was like, I knew you were gonna say it just now. You're a piece of shit.
Even though you're currently like running this thing because I've slept through the whole fucking show.
What I was gonna say is I was gonna be like, well, I was like, he'll never know that I completely made up everything that just happened in the Riddle Balor match because he was asleep.
You could have said anything, and I probably would have fucking believed you.
I'd be like, yeah, and then Balor covered Riddle in gasoline and set him on fire, and then you would be like typing up the episode, and it'd be like, oh, we break down Matt Riddle being set on fire by Finn Balor, and everybody'd be like, what? Be like, yeah, because Balor won when he set Matt Riddle on fire, right? That's what Anthony said. Anthony wouldn't make that up.
No, he wouldn't, because I trust him.
Yeah. But I'm going to fuck you over just like Smee. No, Smee doesn't do that to Captain Hook. Smee's a good first mate.
He's loyal.
Yeah, because he sucks and he has no brain for himself.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry to give you that label, but,
Like,
it's the only nautically themed thing I could find.
Yeah, there isn't another.
I'm struggling to think of another one. You could be the Smee from Hook. Rather than
but he still sucks.
That is true.
That's who I'm picturing in my head the whole time. As soon as you said Smee, I've been thinking of the movie, The Hook, the Dustin Hoffman one with Robin Williams.
Who played Smee? Like,
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen him.
I remember, I saw who played him like a couple of years ago, and I was like, no way, that is not who plays Smee. And it was actually somebody like pretty. I'm going to actually look this up because I need to know.
I don't think I've ever seen him in another movie.
Cast. Here we go.
Bruce Willis. No, I'm just kidding.
Can you imagine? This is, of course, riveting stuff for the... Okay, maybe not. I don't have a clue who he is. Bob Hoskins is the guy. He was Mario.
He was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yes, and he was Mario, I believe, in... that movie the Fantastic
sucks.
Movie.
That Super Mario Brothers movie sucks.
Yeah, that's...
That movie sucks hard.
Okay, so maybe...
Oh, yeah, and he's English. You should know who he is. Is he...
Yeah.
He's not dead. His second wife died. I thought he died.
Oh, you looked it up as well?
Yeah, I'm on Wikipedia. Sorry, Bob. I know you're a big listener of the show. Apologize for thinking you were dead.
It is now trending on Twitter.
Right?
And I was like, who the fuck is Bob? It's the guy who played Smee on Hook. Come on, catch up. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, because Anthony Smee. You fucking asses.
So speaking of dying, the main event, the War Games, the male War Games match, we had Team Ciampa against Team Undisputed Era. Now, there was a whole host of, speculation before we got into this match, who was going to be the fourth member of Team Ciampa to join Keith Lee and Dijakovic. Was it going to be an early return from injury from the likes of Velveteen Dream or Johnny Gargano? Were we going to have a big surprise in the shape of John Morrison or... who was the other one that was banded around? Marty Scurll. Was he going to show up? Kevin Owens, I believe, was also banded around as well. And in fact, I did a prediction show earlier today, and Mr. Warren Hayes himself, he did say that Kevin Owens, he wouldn't be surprised to see him. And lo and behold, it happened. And I didn't actually think of that beforehand because he said, he wasn't. He obviously got beat down on Monday on Raw and didn't show up on SmackDown to help out Team Raw. And until he actually said that and pointed it out, I was like, hold on a minute. It could actually be Kevin Owens. And in my head, I was like, the likely person that it's going to be now is Kevin Owens in my head. But it didn't make it any less impactful. Like, him coming out was incredible. It was awesome. The pop was huge. Just the fact that he came out in his NXT KO t-shirt. That was... And
the shorts.
Oh, and the shorts. It was fucking awesome. Like,
the fist tape. Yeah, it was all... I was thinking the same thing going into it. I thought it was going to be John Morrison. Mainly because I thought the booking made sense for it to be Owens, but because I was still like... NXT creative and NXT booking makes sense. WWE creative and WWE booking does not. And I didn't know who was running the Kevin Owens angle from this past week. So I was like, I don't like if it's WWE creative, it's not going to make sense. They're just going to have Undisputed Era beat him down for no reason, and it is what it is. But I was thinking it would be one of those two. I thought it would be John Morrison, and I was not that would have been like bad because he's cool, but I popped when I heard the music. Yeah, and he came. Oh, the crowd was fucking geared up for it, and as soon as that music hit, yeah, everybody got out of their seats, and his entrance was perfect for it. Like the way Owens always comes out from the curtain and does the whole like breathe in thing and just kind of like gets like he's like about to like freak out before he like enters the ring. It's always cool when he does it regularly, but this time it had even more meaning because you knew he was like pissed and he was going into like a fucking war in that ring. Oh, and it was just so good. And he went in and the match was already good and that pop made it even better. And then he got in the ring and fuck, there was a lot of good things that happened.
Yes, and yes. Like I for me, to be honest, I don't think it was as good as the women's match. It was a lot.
Ooh, really?
I honestly, I think the women's match was the better of the two. I feel like the story being told in the women's match was a lot better. There was just something about the women's match that I just preferred a little bit more. But the spots in the guys match were better. But I think the story in the first match was better. So I go for story over everything else. So for me,
I would say the story in the women's match was better. Rhea Ripley came out as the biggest star of the whole night. But yeah, I thought the spots and the in-ring stuff were better in the men's match.
Because there were some great spots. Like Adam Cole getting out like 50,000 tables. Ciampa pushing him. I mean, why he set a table up there is beyond me. I don't know why he did that, but he got thrown through the damn thing. The way he sold the stunner was incredible.
Oh yeah, he almost popped back up and then like died midair. And just
like the arms and legs just kind of all came together, and then he was kind of
yeah. He hit that fucking Panama Sunrise Canadian Destroyer on Owens between the two rings. Oh man, At first, I thought Owens was going to hit the package pile driver, and I've been wanting him to do this move since Ring of Honor. It was his finisher in Ring of Honor. I love the package pile driver, and I didn't think – I mean, you can't do, like, drivers like that in WWE. Like, it's not allowed because of head and neck stuff. And I thought he lifted him up the first time, didn't get it. And then he got him fully up in the air the second time. And I was like, oh, my God, he's going to fucking hit the package pile driver. Like, I literally stood up in my living room. And then he didn't, and I was kind of like, oh. And then I didn't stand up when he got hit with that Panama Sunrise, but I yelled to the point that my fiance was like, what happened? And I was just like, Kevin Owens just died. Like,
I think it's the fact that you could hear it as well.
Yes, right on that metal. Like, they landed perfectly on the metal connector piece that connects the two rings together, and it was just a loud bang. And Owens, his selling ability is so underrated. It's like the most overshadowed aspect in his like repertoire. And when they hit it, his whole body just went limp and he just went done. And he just sold it beautifully, and it was timed well. There were so many spots in that match. And
I mean, obviously towards the end as well, we had every member of Undisputed Era going through a table. It was so much.
Even
good
that
stuff.
spot, the spot of obviously like the Ciampa Cole spot is going to be the one that drives it home. But I thought the Dijakovic like having almost about to like tap out or pass out to Kyle O'Reilly, and then Owens breaking it up by frog splashing O'Reilly through the table. I thought that was a really cool way to break that up. Like, it was just, the domino effect of tables one after the other. Like, Roddy goes through one, O'Reilly goes through one, Fish goes through one, and then, Ciampa. Oh, man. I can't believe they jumped off the top of the cage and only went through basically like one table and then straight to the mat. Like you could, man, that's so easy to break your neck. We were talking about it before before we went live with this episode. Like just wow, like how they were able to execute that, and Ciampa was able to perfectly protect Cole so that he didn't get like hurt and he'll just have some soreness in the morning. But the fact that he doesn't have like a broken neck, and the fact that Ciampa just had fucking like surgery, and he can't. Oh, I can't believe they did that spot. I'm still like in shock about it. I rewound it like 17 times when it happened.
And it's worth a replay as well. Like I saw him kind of like when he stood up there, and he was a little bit jittery, and then the chain like that suspended the cage like was rolling all over the place. I was like, oh my god, this is not going to end well. Then he got
and you
him
mentioned
out.
the thing of them being sweaty. Like Cole could have like just fallen off of him.
Oh god,
my god!
Like it's like you said as well. Like there's like 9,000 bad outcomes and only one good one. And there's a reason they're trained, as good as they are, to always hit that one positive outcome for the most part. And Ciampa nailed it, Cole nailed it. Like, because I watched Ciampa's hand, like obviously under Cole's head. I watched that the whole way down, and when it landed, just to see if he like kept that locked in, and he did. He cushioned
perfectly.
It, and it was perfect, and it
he
just
lined it up.
Great. Yeah, it just looked amazing. Like, I honestly didn't think that would be the finish of the match. I was actually expecting it to carry on because I think I looked at the schedule and it said that it was like a 3:00 finish. So I thought, he's gonna like crash them through the table, but they'll separate. I didn't think obviously Ciampa would land on him and then pick up the win. I'm not complaining, but I don't think any of these guys really deserve to go another half an hour in that thing that, they probably would have died. And they have Survivor Series to think of.
Yeah, I was even thinking of that. They got a friggin' O'Reilly and Fish got to wrestle again. And, they all have to fucking wrestle again. Duh. Oh, yeah, fuck.
I think saying that, we don't know who, obviously at the time of recording, we don't know who Team NXT are at
or either for the women for the women's or the men.
Yeah, so I don't know who out of this, who was in War Games, maybe Dijakovic, Keith Lee. They're the people that you'd think like Riddle, Keith Lee, Dijakovic. Can you imagine if Balor was Team NXT tomorrow?
I thought of that. Series, or if Owens were Team NXT. I thought of that. I think Owens would have a bigger... See, that's part of it too, like, because they've been... With how NXT has been, like, invading and beating up everyone every week, they're kind of booking NXT like they're the heels when they're on SmackDown and Raw. But Owens is like a face on NXT, so if he's on Team NXT, that would kind of make him a heel on the main. Like, I'm confused. I don't know how it would go. I think Owens would be more likely than Balor. But yeah, I'm wondering. Yeah, I feel like it's got to be Keith Lee, Dijakovic, who I still want to call Dijak from when I used to see him in Ring of Honor.
It's a lot easier to say.
I do it all the time, and even when I watch him, like now when I'm watching it, it was like, Dominic Dijak, and I hear the Kovic part, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh yeah, he had to fucking change his name.
Who else could there be?
It's 5, right? It's 5v5.
Yes.
V5.
I mean, I know why they've probably left, the NXT teams, hanging up in the air because they wanted to see who was going to survive fucking War Games.
The dudes really took like in the women's one, like Shayna didn't take a lot of punishment and she didn't have a lot of spots, and I thought that was smart because she's got the match with Bayley and Becky, and when Ciampa threw Cole through the table, I was thinking, they're gonna have that be like an injury to Cole and he's gonna sit on the outside for like 10-15 minutes so he doesn't have to wrestle a lot. But no, Cole got in the ring like a minute later and then went through that. He fucking had like 4 spots in that match. Like he's going to be legitimately like sore and hurt. And now you got to go into a match with fucking Pete Dunne who hits really hard. Like, oof.
It's going to be interesting for everybody. The tag team match. Undisputed Era, Fish and O'Reilly, they're going to struggle through that one. You've got the Viking Raiders coming at you. It's not going to be pretty. Or maybe fucking Big E spearing you off the bloody apron. It's not going to be nice. Who else? You got Roddy Strong. You got AJ and Shinsuke Nakamura kicking and punching you in the face. That's not going to be pleasant for him. And obviously Cole, as you said, took a lot of punishment, and he's going to be taking more from Pete Dunne.
And they had several of the not only were they taking bumps and spots, but each member of Undisputed Era had a time where they were thrown into the cage a really hard way, and then you could see as they fell down the cage, their back was being scraped against the cage. They're gonna have not from a scripted perspective, from a real life ouch this hurts perspective, they're gonna have scrapes and brush burns and bruises, and they have to turn that around in less than 24 hours on fucking one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year and take more punishment. Oof, yeah, I do not. Cole probably has the worst of it, because you're not coming out of a Pete Dunne match with even though the bruiserweight is his gimmick, Pete Dunne hits hard. He works stiff. You're gonna be in pain.
Yeah, and I think Adam Cole's definitely got the short end of the stick, because with Roddy Strong and Fish and O'Reilly, they're in multi-man matches where they can kind of take breathers and sit out for a little while, whereas Cole can't. He's in there with Pete Dunne. It's not going to end well for him. He'll retain, but it's not going to end well for him.
And he's the champ, so you have to come out and have a good showing, because this is a lot of the, as we talked about earlier, there's a lot of mainstream people who are going to see, maybe they don't watch NXT, but they've seen the Invasion stuff, and so you're going to see Adam Cole in a championship match, and that's a high profile thing. He's going to want to have to show out and do his thing, and yeah, that's hard when, you don't get a breather. You can't tag in a partner. It's just you and Pete Dunne for probably, I don't know, 17 minutes. Maybe I don't think they'll give him more. They'll probably get, a 17-minute match. Maybe they'll keep the pacing. I'm interested to see that from not from a results perspective. I'm interested to see how the pacing of that match goes, because I would imagine Adam Cole is very sore right now. I still can't believe they took that bump. I did not think they were going to go off the cage through the tables. I thought they'd go off the turnbuckle through the cages. Or I'm sorry, through the tables. I was not expecting them to climb all the way to the top. Fuck.
Yeah, it's considering that, Adam Cole now has a high profile match tomorrow, but more so the fact that Ciampa has only been back for 6-7 weeks following major surgery.
I was thinking
balls.
He's so fucking tough, and I was initially thinking he would be he has to be a member of Team NXT at Survivor Series, but then I literally just thought of it just now. Maybe they don't. Maybe because he is just kind of still coming back from the injury. Maybe they're we don't want to put you in big matches back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
So maybe they but I was thinking I don't know. I was thinking to be him, Dijakovic, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, and then one other person.
Yeah, I actually hope that Ciampa is in that Survivor Series match, because at least then I know that he's injury-free. just for my own peace of mind. I think everybody in that match took some absolute punishment in some way, shape, or form. Maybe Dijakovic was probably the one out of all of them to come out of it relatively unscathed. I don't remember him taking any, major bumps in it. But even so, not taking a major bump in a War Games match is still taking a fucking big bump at some point.
Yeah, you're still getting rocked.
But no, it was an incredible match. It was an amazing pay-per-view from what I saw.
For what you were awake for.
What I was awake for. It's got me even more excited for Survivor Series, because we have that NXT flavor attached to Survivor Series this year, and War Games is really it's wet my palate. It's tickled my pickle.
Oh, god damn it!
I had to slip that one in there somewhere.
Son of a bitch!
Can't get away from the pickles. You cannot get away from the pickles.
I don't know why I didn't just block you on Twitter. I don't know why. Even here.
Pickle Dits.
Son of a bitch. Pickle Dits. Oh, jeez.
Hey, Morty.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. But yeah, I'm excited for Survivor Series 2 I'm hoping that it's somewhat rewarded. But yeah, I think the NXT flavor has been cool. I'm interested to see, how all these matches turn out. The invasion angle, even though they've basically been doing the same thing every single episode with the invasions, I'm kind of decently excited for it, and a large majority of that is because of NXT. It's so cool to see the success that they've been on. I know like AEW has been getting so much talk, and I'm a big AEW fan. I'm a huge New Japan fan. I think New Japan is the best in-ring wrestling in the world, but NXT has been a very, 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 very close second for a very long time. And it's so cool to see them, be on a major network now every single week, and this takeover delivered as it always fucking does. And I'm excited to see Survivor Series, mainly because of I want to see what happens with the NXT dudes. And now I feel like I jinxed it and saying that NXT is going to get fucking rocked during Survivor Series. Shayna's going to eat the pin. Fucking Roddy's going to eat the pin. They're all fucking Fish and O'Reilly are going to eat. It's all going to be bad.
It's all about that opposite momentum. Like NXT have been booked to be absolute superstars, every single invasion angle. So it's the writing's on the wall. Like I'm expecting that. They're gonna eat absolutely everything in Survivor Series.
It's making me think of the invasion angle with the WCW ECW thing, and then it came time for that pay-per-view, and WWF won everything.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting some kind of. I think like Shayna. No, I think Bayley eats the pin. I think Bayley eats the pin from Becky. I don't think Shayna eats it, and I think Nakamura eats the pin. No, I think Roddy eats the pin, but Shayna doesn't. I don't know about the other matches. Those are just my thoughts right now, but my brain is mush.
And it's going to be mush after the excellence we have just witnessed. But that was NXT War Games. Great show. So good.
It was a good time to be to do our first. We were just going to talk about some cool NXT stuff that's happened over NXT history, and then it was like, oh no, wait, we're recording on the night of War Games. Let's fucking talk about War Games, and what a fucking show that we got to talk about.
Yes,
for those of us who are awake for it,
and we're still awake for it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
More so for me.
Well, I mean, for me, it's normal time. You're
4:30.
Sun's coming up where you are.
It will be up very shortly. I'm going to try and beat it, to dive into bed. But it actually sounds like we talked about it before we start recording. It actually came up as a thing when we did AEW highlights for the first time. It seems like the party is back in full swing in your neck of the woods there. So I'm going to assume they watched War Games as well, and they're just kind of really in the mood for it.
I don't know if I think that might have been a car driving by me this time. New York, man.
Yeah, I can hear something going on. So somebody's happy. Somebody's letting off some noise.
Somebody in the streets of New York is a huge Tommaso Ciampa fan, or they're a huge Captain Hook fan. I don't know which it is. It's one of the two.
Captain Hook. It's got to be.
It's got to be
either that or
Hook.
Pickles.
Maybe they're big, or maybe
they're just sat there eating a big jar of pickles and really happy about it, really ecstatic about eating pickles.
I hate you so much.
Come on. It tickles your pickle. Come on.
No, it doesn't. I don't know why.
I'm out.
I was like, I'm done. I'm disconnecting my computer. I'm shutting everything off. Done. Son of a bitch.
So guys, like, if Anthony comes back,
if
big if, this will hopefully be the first of many collaborations that you hear between the two of us. But at the end of every single collaboration, there will always be time to plug some more. So the floor is yours. Plug away, my friend.
Thank you so much. I am Anthony. My podcast is Anthony Talks Stuff. Find me on Twitter at AA Talk Stuff. in the Twitter bio, there is the episode link tree to all the episodes ever made by this podcast. My podcast streams on Apple iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. For those of you listening that are sports fans or NFL fans, I also write articles for Last Word on ProFootball.com. I put out anywhere from 1 to 2 articles a week on the NFL and a variety of topics. And yeah, looking forward to being a regular on this show if I don't get too upset at Dits and decide to quit.
I might be able to push your buttons a little bit to that point. I hope that's not soon, though. Maybe like a couple of months down the line. It'll be one pickle too many. God damn. But that is all we have time for today, guys. It's been a really fun show. Like this having Anthony on the DOWPOD is probably the closest thing that I'm ever going to have in regards to a co-host. So it's very good to have somebody to bounce off, and I can't think of anybody better. To be honest, well, it's good. Yeah. You make it easy. Like it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty great.
You are.
But no, yeah, I sincerely appreciate it when you reached out, and yeah, I always have a fucking blast coming on here, and even though I hate you in my core, yeah, I have a great time every time, and I'm excited that we're doing this.
Yes, but of course you can. You can go and check out our previous 2 collaborations or anything else under the DOWPOD umbrella by going on to Apple Podcasts and searching for Dits on Wrestling. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you leave a review and a nice little 5-star rating. It all helps. I like to look good, so doing that kind of stuff makes me feel good. So do it. Also available on Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Dits on YouTube. Go and subscribe to that channel. There's going to be some bonus stuff happening on there under the DOWPOD umbrella very shortly as well. I've gone out of my way to get a better webcam to do some recording over there. So that stuff will be coming soon, which possibly may include the return of DOW Power Rankings. Yes. But that's where you can find me, guys. Like it's been a lot of fun this episode. It's like I said at the very, very start. It was a case of, I haven't watched that much wrestling, so we need to fill the void with something else. NXT WAR Games was the way to go. Well, of course, it was actually the NXT Best Bits that we were originally going to do, and then we realized it was NXT TakeOver, so we thought, you know what, we'll review that. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Like, this would kind of usually fall under my bonus episode kind of way to go with things, rather than an actual, episode. But episode 30 is NXT TakeOver War Games review, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun, and I will see you either on a draft that episode this week, maybe that could be happening, or I'll see you on episode 31 next Sunday, right here on the DOWPOD. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. Ciao, 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 ciao.